All right. Welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack Hour. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some of these players you should be dropping right now, or at least you should be considering dropping, that you've drafted early and are just hurting right now with them. So we'll be right back.
The Fantasy Six Pack Hour with your hosts, Joe Bob and AJ Applegarth.
All right. Welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack Hour. My name is Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixPack.net. With me tonight, as usual, Corey Pieper and AJ Applegarth. What's going on, guys?
Back in action. Corey, I think it's only fair that we sing to our beloved host here.
No, please save
Happy birthday to you.
Man, that is some. You can tell he just got done hearing Metallica. Those are some like good croons right there from AJ. I'm impressed.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Metallica, were you part of the earthquake?
Did you feel it in your feet?
I mean, I always feel it in my feet, but this was a different feeling. Yeah, so
oh my gosh.
It was amazing. My beautiful wife got me and her tickets as my Christmas present, and I got the shirt first from her father, so that was cool. And then she gave me her card, and I opened it, and I was like, oh, all right, now it makes sense with the shirt.
Yeah,
you
give her the O face.
I tried.
Yeah.
But, either way, yeah, it was.
We're gonna have fun tonight, guys.
It was fun. It was fun. It was the show was awesome. Yes, as I'm sure everybody's seen on Twitter, it set off Richter scales in Virginia Tech's geology department's seismograph or whatever it's called, and show was fantastic.
Indeed.
Also went to celebrate our 10-year anniversary, which was last week.
Congrats, man! So. Congrats.
All right, enough about me.
All right. Well, tonight we're going to be jumping into some of those. We did this a couple of weeks ago, a little bit different of a variation tonight. Talking about some players that, at this point, we really need to consider dropping. Corey and I will be going over. AJ will be presenting them. Corey and I will go through some of these guys and discuss whether you should be dropping them. Kind of saying, 10, 12, 15 plus deep things type of thing. It's a struggle out there with some of these big star players. But before you do that, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Jump over to FantasySixPack.net. Join us and become an all-access member. You're going to get access to our award-winning rankings. We've got DFS and betting cheat sheets every single day for multiple sports. We've got our fantasy football content rolling out, including our award-winning rankings for that. And the draft cheat sheet will be rolling out here soon. Right now, though, you can still use F6P MLB 25 to save 15%. So take advantage of that while it's still around. So let's do this, man. AJ, I'm gonna put you in the middle. Let's do this.
Yeah, let me be where I need to be here.
Oh no!
That makes sense. All right,
Nope.
So. First name.
I have lots of jokes, but I'm not going to say them.
First name up the bat here is Mr. Ozzie Albies. We're sitting on 21 runs, 5 dingers, 16 ribbies, 5 steals, and a stellar 215 average. Are we doing the 1, 2, 3 shoot again? I guess.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
1, 2, 3 shoot. Oh, we've got some drop and hold right off the bat. We're hitting them up different sides. Joe, why are you holding this guy?
Look, I understand the batting average and some of the counting stats aren't what you're looking for here, and he has crushed you a couple of weeks in a row here, especially if you're in some some head-to-head, weekly leagues. My thing with him is like, look, the K percentage is right where it's been for a long time. The walk percentage is right where it's been for a long time. His BABIP has dropped 50 points. I think there's a lot to come up from this. Acuna is on his way back. I think this sparks and ignites his offense just enough to make him at least better than what he is. And look, you can't deny 5 home runs and 5 steals already at this point. That's on pace for at least 2020, which today isn't like super good, but it's still rosterable, especially at the position he plays. It's going to be tough to replace him. I know, Corey, we talked about this beforehand. I kind of told you, like, be a little aggressive with it and don't cop out because of the position, but he isn't doing anything super different that makes me think drop him. I think there's just some unluckiness. This entire Braves offense is sort of just, I don't know. They seem lost right now. I don't love Albies. Now, obviously it would depend on who you're replacing him with. If there's somebody out there with similar stats and they're batting, 250, 260, sure. I would make the swap in a heartbeat. But I will be honest with you and look at a lot of my leagues right now, and I don't think there's anybody better on the waiver wire than Ozzie Albies. If he were dropped, I would probably have to pick him up because there's not a lot else out there. So that's my call. That's why I say hold.
All right, Corey, what's your rebuttal?
So some of what Joe said is true. Like, second base is brutal. That is true. So when I say drop, I'm not saying you just pitch off Ozzie Albies for any piece of garbage you can find. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know. If Gleyber Torres was out there, would I move on from Ozzie Albies for Gleyber Torres? I'd probably consider it. Brandon Lau was pretty cold. He had a couple home runs today. I'd have to consider that too. So that's the type of players where if they got dropped in your league already, I would consider moving Ozzie Albies. I just think Ozzie Albies was massively overdrafted anyways. I'm not a huge Ozzie Albies guy. He has leaned. Joe talked about the BABIP. That's true. It is way down, but that's also because he's now leaned into just launching the ball in the air. 21.6%. We talk about launch angle. You're going to launch the ball in the air like that. You're going to run a lower BABIP. He has the lowest hard hit rate of his career here. He's not hitting the ball hard at all. 20% is miserable. Now, he's always been somebody who kind of outperforms the peripherals there, but it looks to me like he's selling out for this power and it's not coming. And yeah, the Braves lineup will get better. I'm not like actively searching out being like, oh, I have to drop Ozzie Albies, but I'm also not opposed to doing it if the right person's there. Like I said, Gleyber Torres, Brandon Lau, that type of a level of player, I'd be willing to move on from him.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing here, too, you mentioned his power. I mean, his ISO right now is a 110. I mean, that's the lowest of his career by far. Not that he's ever been really high with it, but he's been nowhere near this low. So if he's selling out for power, I don't know who's buying because he's clearly not getting it. So plus he's hitting 7th in the lineup. I think for me, I'll lean a little more with Corey on this one. I think I like Albies as a guy, but someone hitting that low in a lineup that's kind of struggling, or struggling with consistency at least. I'm happy to move on if there's a good enough guy on the waivers.
Can I ask you a bonus one here because I had him on the side of the sheet here. And we didn't move him quite over. Similar spot in the lineup on that team, Michael Harris II. Similar power right now, but he's got the steals behind it. The batting average is slightly better, but also struggling overall. Like, is he somebody that you would also move on from, especially outfield, which is a lot deeper?
I'll take this, I guess. I would say Michael Harris is another one I think is just vastly overvalued for what he's ever offered. He came out that first year. I think you just know what you're going to get out of Michael Harris, and that was the first year when he came out and he had, I think it was nearly 2020 with nearly a 300 batting average, but it was with some absurd BABIP, and it's just kind of regressed from there. But offensively, like, would I be fine moving on from Michael Harris? Once again, if the right player was there, yeah, you could do that. But I actually have more confidence that Michael Harris bounces back than I do Ozzie Albies. I think Michael Harris is more likely to hit at a higher average than Ozzie Albies, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in either of them because it's the exact opposite. Ozzie Albies launches the ball in the air. Michael Harris pounds the ball into the dirt. and you can't get him. So that's, I mean, it's opposites, but I'd be fine moving on, but I'm not looking to actively drop Michael Harris.
All right. Any thoughts, or you just want to move on here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine holding on to Harris, mostly just because of those steals. I'll absorb that other, the other hits for now. If it continues to suffer, then I might look to move on. You can always find speed and mix and match with guys there. So, all right.
Fair enough.
Moving on here. Our next guy is Tony Taters, Anthony Santander. He's at 12 runs, 5 dingers, 16 ribbies, no steals, and a 192 average. So little in line and somewhat worse than Albies. Corey, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Corey, what why are you dropping him?
We are both dropped, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a both drop. And I mean, he's performed terribly in his first try here in Toronto. He is currently the 102nd rated outfielder alone by what Fantrax has it down as. The expected stats are a little better than what he's actually performed at, but you'd expect that because it's been truly miserable. He's still hitting the ball hard, but it's the same thing. His barrel rates dropped to, he's had 5 barrels all season. If you're going to hit me home runs, I need you to barrel up the ball. Now he's walking a little bit more. Like to see that. Strikeout rate's a little higher. I think he can still bounce back, but I mean, if you paid for 44 home runs, you're never getting that. If you paid for 20 to 25 home runs, sure. Like I think you could still get that out of him, and maybe that comes with what's he at right now? He's at 187. Maybe he can get it up to 210 at this point. So if you're fine with that, sure, go on and keep holding Anthony Santander. But any 3 outfielder league, no, push it off. Like there's somebody better on the wire at this point than that. A 5 outfielder league, the upside's enough. I'd rather bench him than drop him. But if that's my worst player on my team, I'm not going to lose sleep over dropping.
I'd be shocked if he's starting in 3 outfielder or 4 outfielder leagues on any team. Like I don't understand how you would be able to do it. So yeah, I totally agree. He is kind of a notorious slow starter, but he starts picking it up by now. So it is kind of crazy what his stats look like as the season goes on. So maybe there's some home runs as it goes, but that was when he played for the Orioles his entire career, basically. So like, we don't know what it's going to look like when he's going to be like in a closed dome, time to time in Toronto and things like that. So he's used to Camden Yards, which he seemed to like. And when he got there this past year, hit a bomb at his first at bat. So there you go. Come back home, baby. Come back home. We need you. So.
Yeah, they need something
desperately.
So, all right. Well, let's move on to our next guy here. This is Mr. Bryan Reynolds, right in the middle of those two guys. 16 runs, same homers at 5, a few more RBIs at 20, 3 steals, and 194 average. 1, 2, 3. What are we doing? We've got 2 holds. All right, Joe, why are you holding Reynolds?
Because I don't want to be wrong from early in the season. No, I mean that is a little bit of it. Look, there's a lot that's kind of weird with this right now with him. Now his batting average is 194. His expected batting average is 251, which is still lower than his career, right? So you have to assume that that's going up. His BABIP is. We've talked about BABIP already in the show. Look, that's not everything. Corey pointed out a whole lot. Like, BABIP is, has a lot to do with like how you're hitting the ball. There are certain hitters who BABIP is just going to be low. If you hit a lot of fly balls, you're going to have a low BABIP a lot of times because you just, you're just making pop flies. Nothing's really changed with him. His launch angle is really low, which is shocking. But his BABIP is 248, which is. His career mark is 323. This has to go up. He is going to figure this out, I think. The problem is he plays for the Pirates, and the Pirates are abysmal. So counting stats are just not going to be there. But I do think he's going to figure out enough where you're going to get a 20 home run bat. You're going to get, probably 20 to 24 home runs out of him at least. You're going to get 10 to 12 steals. Maybe pitchers just realize, like, just don't pitch to him and nobody else matters in this lineup outside maybe O'Neill Cruz, but even he's, like, struggling big time. I don't know. I just have to think he just feels like a professional hitter to me. Like, he's just going to be good. Boring, but good. And we've talked about that a lot with him.
All right. Corey, anything to add real quick? Or
I mean, Joe did a pretty good job of describing it there. The ground ball percentage, 53% of his hits are ground balls right now. He's never been above 45%. And as far as holding goes, I mean, it's just look at the weighted runs created plus. He's been 140, 123, 109, 118, and he's at 55 this year. Do I suddenly think he's half the batter that he was the rest of his career at the age of, is he even 30 yet? He just turned 30. Do I think he's suddenly just fallen off a cliff? No, I don't. So maybe I'm being stubborn too. I'm just like Joe. I was way in, and I will ride the ship till it sinks on me. But I have to agree that he's going to be better, and I think it's going to happen at some point. It may not be enough to get him back to the career norms of consistently being a 270 hitter, but if he gets it back to 235, 240 at this point of the year with where he's sat right now, and he does it with 20 home runs and 10 steals, I'll take that. So yeah, I'm right. I'm going down with the ship here too.
all right.
Baby.
Yeah, I believe he was actually dropped in my league. I'm not sure if anybody picked him up yet. I was debating on it. If he's still out there, I might. We'll see. I could use a little outfield help, so why not? Next guy up here is Brenton Doyle. 13 runs, 4 homers, 17 RBIs, 4 steals, 216 average. 1, 2, 3. What say you? A little.
I was doing something
else. Looking at dropping. So, Joe, what are you? I guess Corey.
I went first last time. It's his turn.
Yeah, that's why I'm changing it to Corey. Calm it down, birthday boy. You don't get all the action. Okay?
Corey, I mean, he's another one.
Man.
He was also overdrafted, right? At coming off the 20 homer, 30 steal season, and it's so much the fact that he can. Last season, he leaned into the fact that he's playing half his games at Coors Field, which he's doing again this year. So that's how you justified it. Is he played half his games at Coors Field last year? He's playing half his games at Coors Field this year. As long as he is a superstar hitter at home, he can just be league average on the road. Last year, he had a 900 OPS at home and a 636 OPS on the road. Well, this season, he's not doing that, right? I mean, it's simple as that. He's not conforming to this unbelievable all-world level at home. It's 696, which is okay. As long as he was doing that on the road, you'd be fine with it. But on the road, he's got a 476 OPS. So I don't know. He was overvalued at the draft table. Could he still provide 2020? I guess. Honestly, you should, in like a weekly league, you should stream him the weeks he's at home. That's what you should do with him. Is if you're fine leaving him on the waiver wire, if you get a week where they play 4 games at Coors Field, you want to pick him up and ride it, go for it. But that offense is, I mean, just god awful.
Worse than the Pirates.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It is easily the worst. Even at home, they're bad now. You can pitch.
Yeah.
You said you can pitch anyone against them.
We said this last year, Corey. I know you weren't part of the show last year, but we said this last year. The Rockies are not scary at home anymore. Don't worry about it. Now, it does inflate pitcher stats slightly because it's still Colorado, but not nearly as much as it was before. So it is okay to use these guys at in Colorado. I'm not afraid of it.
Are you afraid of dropping Brenton Doyle?
No. I think Doyle's done for me, man. Doyle does not rule for me.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, there we go. Gotta laugh at somebody.
Birthday day here. We're getting.
I was.
Y'all being nice,
there, but figured I'd leave that low hanging fruit for you there.
Oh come on, that was a good one.
I just said I was going to go there, but I didn't.
Okay.
All right, moving on here. Next guy we got up is Matt McLain with 20 runs, 5 homers, 15 RBI, 10 steals, 171 average. 1, 2, 3. Why are we even talking about him?
Ooh.
Oh,
It's him this time.
All right.
It's him this time. I went last
No.
time on
No, you
the
didn't. I went first.
No,
Brenton
he
Doyle.
went Brenton Doyle.
but we both agreed on.
Oh,
Doyle.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
True.
on the
All right.
debate
On
I
last
get
time,
debate,
I went
okay.
first. So now
That's
you
true.
get the debate
All right.
one first.
Okay.
I'm
so
curious, 'cause I don't really know
All right.
here.
So
Matt
Corey's
McLain.
dropping.
Matt McLain, 2 seasons ago, goes out half a season, 16 home runs, 14 steals, and hits 290, right? Then he misses all of last season. I think it was a shoulder. I don't really remember. I think it was a shoulder injury. Comes back this season. You're still getting the power and the speed. That's there. If you're good with, like, if you're playing in a read where you just need power and speed, fine. But he is going to brutalize your batting average the way this is playing right now. And the year that he hit 290, that was massively boosted. We're talking about some BABIP again. Like, he had a 385 BABIP. This is not that far off. Like, it's 224. Okay, maybe it settles in the middle here, and he's like a 210 hitter. That's what this looks like. Is yes, you might get 25 home runs and 20 steals out of it. Like, you might get 20-20 out of it, but it's going to be with a miserable batting average the way he's batting right now. He is striking out 31% of the time. He's not hitting the ball particularly hard. Like, so if you're fine with just getting the power and speed, sure, keep rolling, because he's going to be in the lineup every day. They're not going to take him out, but it is going to come with a terrible batting average. He does not walk hardly. I guess he's walking more than I thought. I didn't think he was actually walking that much, but
13%.
296 on base percentage. That is terrible. So
Yeah.
I'm fine moving on from Matt McLain. But once again, I'd realize that we're talking about second base, and it's tough to find a replacement second baseman.
Yeah, that really doesn't have anything to do with it with me. Like, I think for me, like, I just don't think a player who is as capable as Matt McLain will finish with a 171 batting average. I think and I don't even think he's gonna finish with a 210. I think the rest of the season we're looking at a 250, 260 hitter, honestly. And if you like the 5 and 10 home runs and stolen bases, you're gonna love the rest of the season. Like, he's going to give you even more of that. And so we know the power and speed is there. You give him the batting average. I think as Cincinnati gets warmer, we love this ballpark. Cincinnati gets warmer, I think this is just going to help him. I'm not really like the strikeout rate. Yeah, I mean, 28% last year, so 31 this year. Not great. But yeah, there's just too much for me to like about Matt McLain's like overall game. I liked him as a prospect coming out. I just think he'll make an adjustment and figure it out, man. I just think he's too talented not to.
Can I throw some names at you?
Sure.
Matt McLain or Ozzie Albies?
McLain.
Okay. Matt McLain or Michael Garcia?
I don't know Garcia's stats, but I would likely
17 runs, 5 homers, 19 ribbies, 10 steals, 295.
Yeah, I mean that's tough. Probably Garcia. I mean, at this point, like, yeah, Albie. I mean, I would take at this point. Like we said, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can find somebody like that with Albies, then yeah, take Garcia.
Last one, Bryson Stott or Matt McLain. This is after AJ's heart here.
Dude, Stott is irritating as hell. I'm not gonna lie, but I would likely. I know his steals and his power is nowhere near this. Yeah, I'd probably lean Stott. McLain, but yeah, McLain's down there, and so is Albies. I'm not gonna lie, that's why we're talking about him.
Sure.
But
I don't think we see him all that differently. You're definitely higher on his average than I am, but power and speed's there.
rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
It's
power,
it's
speed,
rough,
good
man.
park. And as the weather gets warmer, like you said, Joe, I think that ball's going to start flying out of there like it always does. And it's a good lineup. I like this lineup a lot.
It should be better, man. Like, you got to imagine
he's
Steer's
still
going to start
hitting.
coming around eventually.
He's hitting, 8th in the order right now, but if he starts getting it together, he could creep up a little bit. This is per roster resource on Fangraphs right now, but then you got TJ Friedel's showing leadoff, but Gavin Lux was batting leadoff today, so they're going to be switching stuff around.
Well, yeah, Frito hasn't been there except for the last week or so. So that's a new thing. So McLain's still up there too. So yeah, I think they want to let this guy figure it out. So
yeah, I'm easily taking Stott over him though, obviously. So all right, another second baseman. This seems to be the theme here. Rough position during the draft, and all these guys suck right now. So Marcus Semien is our next second baseman up to bat, but not up to snuff. 12 runs, 3 homers, 17 RBIs, 1 steal, and 179. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, we got Corey and Joe with a drop.
All Joe's up first. Corey. It's his turn. No.
Yeah.
No,
Joe?
no.
Yeah. I have no issues dropping Marcus Semien. I know we've talked about this position a lot already. It is a dumpster fire. And clearly, like, we're talking about a guy who was drafted in, I don't even know his ADP, but probably 4th, 5th round at worst. It was his reputation that got him there. If you had really looked at Marcus Semien the last season, you knew the red flags were there. And I don't like to take victory laps, but I'm taking a victory lap on Marcus Semien. I warned you, do not draft this guy where he's going. I was fine taking him 4, 5, 6 rounds later. He was not worth where he was going. Yes, I didn't expect the power to drop like it was. But everything else was moving in the wrong direction. And I mean, I guess the natural thing was the power was to follow. So yeah, maybe he picks it up a little bit, but man, everything just sucks with Marcus Semien right now. Honestly, the Texans offense is just not very good.
No.
So I pitch a lot of pitchers. Like, I stream pitchers against Texas right now. That's kind of how bad they've gotten. So that's where I'm at.
Corey, anything to add?
Yeah, I think Semien will be better, like Joe said. But if we're talking about dropping Matt McLain and Ozzie Albies, the part of the reason that you can drop up Marcus Semien is because Texas dropped him in their batting lineup from 1st to 5th, and we talked about how important it was for him to get the 160 games and 700 plus plate appearances. Well, he ain't going to do that batting 5th in Texas. So suddenly the accumulator isn't as accumulating. So I'm fine dropping Marcus Semien. I want to hear this from you, Joe. Like, if you had to rank these guys, Semien, McLain, Ozzie Albies, you're going McLain first.
McLain, Albies, Semien.
And I would just do Albies, McLain, Semien. Actually, I have seen Semien dropped. So I did not put in a claim. I have seen Semien dropped in a couple leagues, and I have not put in a claim. So
I will be honest. Marcus Semien is the reason why I had the idea for this show. We had people in our Discord talking about this. I saw Twitter going crazy about it, and I was like, that's a big name. People are going crazy about this right now. And if you look at your leagues right now, like, the percentage of people that have dropped Marcus Semien is really high over the last week or two. So he's a big reason why I had the idea for this show. Was like, look, we are now at the point where people are frustrated with their early round draft picks, and it is time to figure out whether or not to talk them off the ledge, or no, you got a real point here, and this is time to cut them before you just start digging yourself in more. There are lots of players who you hold on to them way too long, and it hurts you. Like, the season-long stats might be fine, and so next year you're like, what was wrong with this guy? You're like, well, wait, no, the first 3 months was terrible. I couldn't do anything after that. So
I will say that is one of my fantasy weaknesses. Is just holding. I refuse to, like I said, I will ride Bryan Reynolds. If Bryan Reynolds is terrible in July, I probably don't care. I'll probably still have him on some teams. Like, and maybe I'll be wrong.
It's like I might as well just wait for the turnaround.
Not everybody. I can't point here. Not everybody's AJ. I'm trying to do this.
Jake Berger came back and hit a home run.
Stupid weird thing. I don't know. Not everybody's AJ and can just rage cut everybody. Rage drop.
I don't rage drop everybody. I just rage drop a lot of the guys that deserve it. Some of them I regret. Most of them I don't.
Which is almost everybody. For you. No,
yeah, probably. But speaking of drops,
love you, man.
Yes, love you too. Speaking of drops, we've got the Washington Capitals just got dropped at home in Game 5, I believe this is 3-1 loss.
They got wrecked, man.
It was 1-1 until about 4 minutes left in the third, and Carolina got a go-ahead goal, and then they got an empty netter.
Okay, I need a rant here. And you know what? No one yelled at me about the banner, by the way. So you guys.
I haven't even. I got my window over it, so I'm not even looking at them. Sorry.
Can I rant about the NHL playoff format?
Sure.
It is the absolute worst format ever. Why in the hell are the Capitals playing Carolina in the first place? They do it by division. No.
I don't. I mean, I haven't paid enough attention to it to
years ago, they did it by division so they could have more rivalries in the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't like nobody plays what they play 60 or 70 some odd games. 80. You don't play that many games to have then rivalries in the playoffs. Oh, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Like just do 1 through 8 like a normal league would do and just let them go.
Yeah, 82. I was right.
It's so dumb in my opinion. Like look, I get it, man. The Caps lost. If they were the better team, they should have moved on, but they weren't. But you shouldn't have to go face a good team like Carolina in the freaking second round if you're the first seed.
Well,
this is nonsense, in my opinion.
They still split it because of the divisions, they have 2 divisions now. They changed all that, however many years ago. So there's 2 1 seeds. And then 1, 2, 3 in each one get in, and then there's 2 wild cards depending on where they're from. So I get that part of it, and I'm not necessarily opposed to that because it's a 1-4-2-3, 1-4-2-3. I mean that kind of makes sense.
The way they seed it though, they seed it within division first, and then the wild cards just get split.
Exactly.
And so it just.
Yeah, so the wild cards could both come from the same conference, and they have.
It could, and that's totally fine. But
division,
but that's totally fine to me. But I don't know. To me, it's just make it normal 1 through 8 and just go, man. Just have a normal 1 through 8 and just let us see what happens. I don't know why you have to like manufacture ratings because you want to have rivalries in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
The
Stanley Cup playoffs, no matter what, are probably right up there as one of the best playoffs series.
Here we go, Kyle, our hockey guy here, one of our hockey guys over here, totally agrees with me. Here we go.
He's being nice. It's his birthday.
No, it's not. He put a lot of
checks in the mail, Cal.
At this point, there are no bad teams left.
True, okay, there is.
I agree. There's not, but still, man.
I mean, not by seeding.
I still think like
and a 1-2.
Could you have argued if the Caps had gotten passed on a normal 1 through 8 that they were bad getting through? I don't know. I could go on. I'm not gonna. Let's move on, man.
All right,
baseball. Back to baseball.
All right, ran over. Okay, our next. Well, not second baseman up is Sal Perez. This one is an interesting one. 9 runs, 2 homers, 20 RBIs, no steals. But he's above the Mendoza here at 221. All right, 1, 2, 3. What are we doing? Both holding. Wow. Okay.
I don't know if they're first or not anymore, but if we did a buy low, sell high show, like this would be the ultimate buy low. Like any league where you can trade for Sal Perez, you should be doing that right now. The dude's expected batting average is 293, highest of his career. Like I guess through 2020 in the short year he had a 319, but other than that, 293. He's hitting the ball every bit as hard as ever. 14% barrel rate. Like, I have almost no doubts about Sal Perez. I would add him in any league he's dropped instantly.
Yeah, I mean, look, the one thing people are going to look at though is that look, his K rate and his walk rate are in the opposite direction of last year, which were, by the way, like basically career lows, and and career highs.
22% is
which way you
fine.
look at it from the season before. He's right in line, which is where he usually is, right? And those seasons, you loved him, especially a catcher, right? 23 home runs, you got the 250 average, totally fine. Last year was a slight outlier, right, with the 27 271. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way. We're seeing this Kansas City offense step up big time. I mentioned it in I forget who I was talking to, actually. I was like, man, I want to stream this guy, and the season-long stats are saying play him against Kansas City because they have the 27th worst, like, WRC plus or whatever. However, in the last 2 weeks, they're top 10. The team's figuring it out. Kansas City no longer is going to be a, just doormat. I think they're back. And this team was good last year. They got Bobby Witt, got Pascal Coutinho, who's finally figuring it out. Sal Perez is going to be right there with him. So I am not dropping this guy at all.
Corey, I assume you agree with pretty much all that?
Yep. You should.
Okay.
You should get Salvador Perez if you could get him.
So in a 10-team league, are you okay? Single catcher, are you okay dropping him?
Nope. I wouldn't drop him. Like, what am I dropping? Like, I'm not dropping Salvador Perez for Carson Kelly. I don't really care what Carson Kelly could hit 35 home runs this season, and I'll be wrong if Sal Perez is not as good as Carson Kelly.
I'll keep Perez. Perez is still a top 5 catcher for me, in my opinion.
Like Hunter Goodman, if he was still out there, I would at least consider that. But that's about it. Other than that, like, I would not. A 10-team single catcher league, I still want Salvador Perez. He should still be on a team.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. All right. Next guy up here is Christian Walker. 18 runs, 4 homers, 15 RBI, no steal, 208 average. 1, 2, 3 snakes on a plane. Oh, here we go. We've got Corey holding. We've got Joe dropping. Let's get to it. Or as Mills Lane used to say in claymation form, let's get it on.
Yeah, right.
Is your name Corey?
No, man.
No, it is not.
It should be me, right?
No.
It's me, right?
You just went on Sal Perez, and I believe you were the last.
Well, we agreed on Sal Perez, didn't we?
You did.
Just go. It's fine. Whatever.
On the arguments, we flip-flop. That's what we're supposed to do.
I know.
Gotta keep track, man. So Albies,
I'm sort of not doing that.
Of course not. I've been drinking a lot longer today than you, and I'm still keeping track better than you. Yeah. All right.
Maybe.
All right. Anyway, so my thing with Walker, man, is just like, we're talking about expected batting average, and he's always outperformed that in his career, but now his expected is 223. He's at 208. I do think there's going to be more power to come, but we are seeing a higher strikeout rate, a lower walk rate. He did really well in Arizona, and that's about it in his career. As an O's fan, I loved this guy, and I was sad to see him go, especially after what he did in Arizona. But we got to remember this guy's also now 34. So there is a little bit to, expect here with a little bit of regression. I'm trying to look at some splits here with, like, home and away real quick because I will be perfectly honest, I did not do a whole lot of research on this, so I'm trying to do it on the fly. But he's picking it up a little bit in the batting average right now, like 234 in May, 196 batting average in March and April. But he hasn't hit a bomb yet this year. He hasn't in this month. So, like, okay, cool. So you're connecting a little bit more, but you're not hitting it out. That's what we want you for. Honestly, if you hit 230 and still hit 30 bombs, we'd be okay with you. I don't care if you hit 230 and you hit 12. That doesn't matter to me. So I'm out. I'm totally out on him. There's a lot of first basemen who are who have stepped up this year, in my opinion, and have outperformed Walker a lot.
Yeah, he's not wrong about that. Like, there's certainly first basemen that have, but by now most of them are all picked up. Like, if you can still drop like Christian Walker and get, I don't know, something positive, I'd be okay with that. But I do think it gets better from here. I don't think he's suddenly just this. The strikeouts are untenable at 29%. I don't know if he's fallen back.
24?
29.2%. He struck out right now. That's high. Like, I don't like that. That is the type of player that I typically don't like, if you haven't gotten to realize that. But I think he'll get it back. He's hitting way more ground balls than other player, 42%. That's the highest ground ball rate he's had of his career, basically. But when he's hitting it in the air, he's hitting it and he's pulling it in the air. And I kind of love the idea of him at the Crawford boxes of Houston, whatever it is now, Daikin Field or whatever it's supposed to be now. So I will hold on Christian Walker, just thinking that we could still get a week where he hits 4 home runs. I still think that's in there. I will hold it for a while and hold out hope that we can get to the 30 home run mark here. But yeah, Joe's right. The 250 batting average, like, it was always, I don't know how he always did it. Like, he would just barely get there. So I'm holding out hope that we can get like 30 home runs still and a 230. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Okay. Sounds good. Next guy up, Dylan Cruz, Nats. We got 22 runs, 5 homers, 11 RBI and steal, but under 200 at 189. 1, 2, 3. Who's Cruz? Well, we got ourselves a tie. Hold.
I was super close on Dylan drop.
All right.
Really?
Corey, it is your floor.
So I think it was probably about a week ago, someone in the Fantasy Six Pack Discord asked about Dylan Cruz, and I took that one and answered it. Excuse me. The dude is struggling against specifically just fastballs. He has an expected slug of 556, and he's slugging 481 against him right now. The expected batting average is 276, and he's only batting 234 against him. I think he gets better from there. If the only way I'm dropping Dylan Cruz in a league is if the Nationals send him down to AAA. If that were to happen, sure, go ahead and drop him. Until then, he's still stealing bases, right? You've got the 11 steals. He's got 5 home runs. This is the same thing that Joe is talking about with Matt McLain. I just have more confidence in Dylan Cruz being better than Matt McLain. That's the only difference here, because it's the same thing. Even if he's going to give me a 200 batting average, the way he's pacing right now, that's with 20 homers and 40 steals, like something like that. It might come with a abysmal batting average, but he's on pace for that right now, and I think his batting average can improve. So I will keep holding Dylan Cruz. If the Nationals send him to AAA, that's different, but I don't think they're going to do that. They keep seeming to keep him in the lineup. We've moved in the lineup, but he seems to be in there, so keep holding Dylan Cruz.
Yeah,
right.
I think I think Uncle Ted made a point here. He's really struggling against right-hand pitching right now, which is a problem. And you can't make contact, man. You're not going to get on base. You're not going to steal bases unless they literally run you every time, which is kind of what they did early on this season. And now it's like, I mean, like, he's not getting on base, man. Like,
stole 2 bases in the last 3 days. 2 steals in the series against the Braves.
All right. 136 batting average.
Oh, I know, man. The batting average is abysmal.
And no home run. We don't want. We're not expecting a ton of power from him. I don't think. People that think they are, but I think that's fool's gold. It's literally get on base, run. Hopefully for him. And look, you and I both know, man. Like, we drafted Bryce Terrain kind of off that same profile, and it is burning us. He's at least running right now. So that's the one problem.
So I actually saw Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, you're good.
I did see Dylan Cruz get cut in the league as well, and I put in a claim. I forget. I think I was dropping Ceddanne Rafaela for Dylan Cruz, who are basically doing similar things, but I think Rafaela's hitting like 250 now. But it's not my type of player either. But I have seen Dylan Cruz get cut, so yes, it'll happen. I just kept him on my bench, but
so here's my thing. So what makes you think the batting average is going to climb that much higher, right? So last year, granted, it's 31 games, 119 at bats. He had a 218 average. It's not, yes, it's worse this year. It's not like he's had like a ton of success in the major leagues. Yeah, minors, he's crushed it. 270, 265, 274, 292. He's been awesome. But what makes you believe that he's gonna like go for it?
yeah, I can't just sit here and spew a fact that says Dylan Cruz is going to get the average.
And I guess
can't
maybe
do that.
I'm gonna flip mine to drop. You know,
Yeah, I can't do that.
thinking
Like,
about this,
I
I'm
can't.
out.
If you want to sit and say that he is going to like bat low, that's possible. He might have a terrible batting average. And I said, but then it's Matt McLain to me. Like, that is still the same thing. And so I'm okay with.
I think Matt
holding
McLain
Dylan Cruz.
I think Matt McLain has a better power profile than Dylan Cruz by a lot, in my opinion, and that's what makes me think that he will have a better batting average in the long run than Dylan Cruz.
Dylan Cruz with the 13.5% barrel rate. Matt McLain's is what, 4? Like, maybe his expected batting average is 261. First off, like, I could point to some of this. Like, his expected batting average is 261. Is he hitting under 200? Yes, he is hitting under 200. The dude's got an 8% launch angle. It should be better. I don't know why it isn't, but he's striking out way too much too. So I'm fine riding Dylan Cruz. Another one, I'll probably ride it. If he sucks all year, fine, I ate it. But he should be better.
Man, there's a lot of pedigree there. I get it. All right, let's get to our first pitcher.
Okay, first pitcher of the night, and that is Sandy Alcantara.
I think this
1, 2, 3 pitch.
I'm not ready.
I don't know how you can do otherwise.
Yeah.
Drop.
I'm looking. I do want to like watch Sandy starts though, because like the last one, he was in the 6th inning, he was pitching well, and then they brought him back out for the 7th, and he gave up a 3-run home run. Now it was against the White Sox, so suddenly it was, I think, 5 2/3, 4 earned. He struck out 8, but it's the White Sox. The dude did get the Dodgers back-to-back in there. Those were miserable starts. I'm not starting many pitchers against the Dodgers. You're not starting Sandy Alcantara against the Dodgers. So
not a rough go of it. Phillies, Cincy, Dodgers. It is a rough go, but man,
yeah,
a guy like him, you expect way more.
Oh, sure. And I think his 8.10 ERA, it is not going to be that bad. It will be better than that. But you know,
that's terrible.
He's another one. Have you seen Sandy get dropped?
That.
I've seen Sandy get dropped.
Yeah. So have I.
Yeah. And
I'll be honest. I just don't have any interest in him, even if he gets dropped. I'm gonna let somebody else like jump on that grenade and look. Maybe it's a dud. Maybe it works out for them, but I don't want to take that chance. It's been even the good starts. You know, I'm doing air quotes for people who aren't watching. Even the good starts haven't been like awesome. So it's like, man, I'd rather just stream somebody who's playing the Pirates, or the Rockies, especially on the road. Like, let's go for it, man. Brett Eller against the Pirates. Go for it, man. I've done that a lot of times. That kind of thing. Over Alcantara, who, name, brand name. And that's what we're talking about. Brand name doesn't always mean anything at this point. So.
All right. Well, that wraps up our initial discussion here with our 1, 2, 3 drop of our main guys here. I had a couple other names listed, but they're also in our next section here where we go and crowdsource on Reddit and get some other opinions from some fantasy baseball guys and see who is dropping who. Try to rip through these a little bit. Rapid fire here. First guy up, catcher Adley Rutschman. Hold it.
AJ, can we take a pause real quick?
I suppose we
I
can.
want to take a pause real quick. 'Cause it's something we haven't done in a long time. I want to do a little beer, a little beer of the week.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't drank in a long time, but I'm doing it tonight. So
right.
It's my birthday. Let's do it. A little
Beer.
Okay.
Welcome back. What you got?
All right. Well, the first one I'm drinking here is the New Trail Relentless Hops West Coast IPA. It's a dry hopped and also in collaboration with Victorious Blade, looks like. It's only a 6.7, but it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. I've got a 7 over here as well. So
this is one that I hung out with a friend of mine today, Laura. You know her. She bought a pack from Brookville Beer Farm, right down the road from me, and it's called Herd of Turtles. And you can see it's got a bunch of turtles on it. I'm trying not to get the light on it too much. There we go. That's better. A bunch of turtles just hanging out. 8.5. This is a solid 4.25 on my scale on top right now. So very, very good. I know, Corey, I blindsided you with that. I know you got your Gatorade Zero over there. You're good.
So is there a follow-up to that one that is Turd of Hurdles?
No, I don't know. I'm not following you, man. Sorry.
What's that one called? Herd of Turtles.
Herd of Turtles. Is that what I
said, is there a follow-up to it? Turd of Hurdles. And you were completely lost under a herd of turtles. So well done. Well done.
Got it.
That's
like
just
turds.
Humor I bring.
I like turds. We're good.
That was fun.
All right. Let's go through the rapid fire. We got
grab that clip.
So we're over here to our Reddit submissions.
All right.
Let's
Back to this.
Rapid fire.
Adley Rutschman. Hold or drop?
I'm gonna do hold still. Man, it's so bad, but I'm still gonna do hold. He's too good.
Hold and hold. Tyler Soderstrom. Hold or drop?
I think he's droppable, honestly, at this point still.
I'm still holding it, but
I am holding him honestly in my league, but I do think he is droppable. I'm still just holding out hope.
Yeah, I
get it.
You could drop it. I don't think he's hit a home run in a month. Like after that hot start, it's been close to a month since he's hit a home run.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Yeah. All right. Next guy. This was a good one for me. Jose Altuve. Speaking of turds.
Hold.
Both holding.
You have to hold. Like we talked about second bases. He's in a tier still above the others to me. Of the Albies, the McLains, the other guys.
And he's got outfield now, so I guess, why
he
not?
does. The multi-eligibility is nice.
Made a good catch tonight, man. Big long run catch, by the way. Pretty tough one.
Needs to get the bat going a little bit more. I think he's still hitting 250-ish. But he's been kind of brutal lately. So still owned in 95% of leagues.
3.
Yeah,
you're okay with him.
Exactly.
So speaking of Bryson Stott, you mentioned him earlier. Coming up next.
Ouch. We'll skip this one. Mark Vientos.
No.
Right? Bryson Stott. What are we doing?
Hold, baby. I'm doing a hold.
That's
Dude, it's
right.
the fourth rated second baseman. He is the fourth rated second baseman.
That's how bad second base is right now. But hey, 258 average, 8 steals, and 3 home runs. And it's been better as late as it was early. It was rough early on. I had him.
I mean, I think it's the top second baseman.
The top second baseman.
We
should do a show on this. Maybe we'll skip. Well, maybe we'll do this next week. Hold on.
No, don't call me. I don't want to know this. Damn, I don't even know, man. It's not even.
Oh, I know you do.
It's not even Mookie. Even if he had second base.
Oh, you know who it is. You already mentioned him once tonight.
Oh my gosh, did I? Damn
Bryce Terang.
Yeah.
Bryce Terang.
No way. Is it really?
32 runs scored is ridiculous, dude. That is a lot of runs scored.
He just needs to steal more bases. Let's go, bro. Let's do it.
I don't want to take a biased victory lap here on Stott, but I told you that he'd be good this season. So, and who the hell wrote
I
his
drafted
name in
him
here
for a
and
reason,
spelled it wrong?
AJ. You got it. It wasn't necessarily just because of you. You were just a little icing on top.
Yeah.
But
Well,
let's
you're
do
welcome.
it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Next man up is Mark Vientos. That's third base. Dual drops.
Drop.
All right. Max Muncy. Dodgers, Max Muncy.
I'm a drop.
We've got a drop.
No longer rosterable.
Yeah.
So they started to sit him some days. That's why he moves into drop territory. They
Well,
sat
and
him
he's
a couple
not-
times in the last few days.
And like the power was zapped a little last year, and you thought maybe it was because of the injury. Now the power is like gone. Like it's just he's hit that territory where it's like, nah, we good.
Yeah.
He's gone.
All right. Kicking into shortstop, we got Trevor Story. What's the Story morning glory? You
gotta hold on. I think you gotta hold him, man.
Okay. Corey with drop, Joe with hold. Why are you holding him, Joe? Well, we'll do a little.
Look, 6 home
expose.
runs, 6 home runs, 8 stolen bases, sitting 234. We've talked about dropping guys a lot worse than that right now. There's no way I'm dropping a guy like that. Now, I get it. Like, injuries are bound to happen, if not already happened for this guy. I might have missed the last couple of days, but
possibly.
It's just there's no way I can drop a guy on that pace right now out of position who's not awesome. Like, I mean, shortstop is good, but I don't think it's been as overwhelmingly like hot as we thought it was going to be. Up top, yes, but the middle ground, like he's fitting right in right now.
Nah, he's
I mean,
droppable. He was dropped 21 games. He has 1 home run, 5 RBIs, 2 steals. He's hitting 151 with 35 strikeouts to 4 walks. Like, he has been miserable for a month now. And the difference is the fact that if he played second base, sure, you hold him. But like at shortstop, I'd rather play Javier Baez right now. I'd rather play Trey Sweeney right now. I'd rather play Trey Sweeney right now. I already talked about dropping Ceddanne Rafaela. I'd rather play him right now. I'd rather play Mason Wynn right now. Like, there's just JP Crawford's
Mason Wynn's
back.
a rough one, man. I don't know if I could do that. Long term, man, I don't know if I could do Mason Wynn.
He's inconsistent, but he's been pretty good. I mean, hell, Brooks Lee from Minnesota's been kind of heating up.
That's the difference. If he played second, it'd be different. But I think he's movable. I got you. Move on.
I just don't know if I could do the guys like Brooks Lee and things like that over a guy like Trevor Story, who we know when he's on the field more often than not is good.
Josh Smith or not? Trevor Story.
Oh, Trevor Story. Because we know, like,
really?
For me, Josh Smith doesn't play often enough. He sits too far. He sits far too often.
He's playing shortstop now. Seager's out.
But look, a guy who has Seager and then picked up Josh Smith to fill in for him, he does not play every day.
He had a back thing going on. That's what it was.
It does not matter.
I'm in. Okay, we're all on this.
All right. Well, get him a bacchiotomy and let's move on. All right. Taylor Ward. Bacchiotomy, yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be a rough
Taylor
one.
Ward.
I know I'm going to be
like,
wow. I'm
No,
actually
you're
surprised you're
both
agreeing
holding.
with me, Corey.
And you should not be.
he's just doing what he like. Did you expect more? Like, I don't know what you expected out of Taylor. I would hope he hits a little higher than he's doing, but otherwise, this is kind of what he does.
Well, so I have Ward, and I know why he's on this list, man. There was a stretch since, holy crap, I can go way back. The middle of April, dude. The middle of April 18th until May 11th. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 6 hits maybe. He had 6 hits in like a month. It was so bad. I'm dying over here, like trying to roster him. Going, I benched him finally in it. I didn't drop him because I do know how talented of a bat he is, but I benched him for sure. He's picked it up a little bit, and he homered yesterday and 2 days ago. So I do think he's coming back around. So I would not drop. If you've held on to him, I think you've gone through the worst at this point. You're hanging on to him. Had you dropped him in, 3 or 4, like if you had dropped him a week ago, I wouldn't have blinked an eye. Honestly, I really wouldn't have. But I get it. I get it with him, man. Like it's been a struggle bus with him big time.
Yeah, I mean, he started off the month of May going 1-4-14 with 3, 6, 7, 8 Ks. I mean, he's pretty much had at least 1 K in every game since, aside from 2. But he has picked up the power since May 6th. He's got 4 homers.
He's starting to come around.
He's starting to come back around. For me right now, I'm still like, I want to kind of ride the wave back on, but if he starts falling off again, I'm dropping him. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think he's too good. But all right,
yeah. All right, Jason Dominguez. Good lineup. All right, 2 holds.
2 holds. I think we good.
All right, Aaron Nola.
I'm gonna hate this.
DH. Oh, we've got a mix up here. Corey's holding him. Joe's dropping him. Corey, why?
I haven't been an Aaron Nola fan in a long time. I think he's too inconsistent. His strikeout rate has been dropping. It went back up a little bit this year, but his walk rate has climbed. His whip is way high. Everything. Yeah, look, is he this bad? No, but his expected ERA is 4.96. His Sierra is fine, 3.67. So look, maybe if you buy him now, he's fine for you the rest of the way. I just think, man, like I'm done with this guy. And AJ, I have to think you would agree on this one. This dude,
I'll hear Corey's side first.
Tremendously bad. Like nothing's good going his way.
And then I will fill in the blanks.
Why do I want to hold him? I mean, it's a lot of just going off of the past history there, right? He's still getting swings and misses, big chase rate, but Joe's got it. Like he's getting hammered right now at times. Now, it was the last 2 games before, was it yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever he gave up the 9 earned against St. Louis. The couple games before that, I think he had 3 straight quality starts or borderline quality starts in there. And those were against some tough matchups, like the Cubs were one of them and Arizona was one of them. So I thought we were going to start turning it around, and then he gets this blow-up start. The weird part was yesterday, his issue was home runs, right? Like when he gets hit, it's the home run ball. Yesterday was 3. He had a couple of games where he's had multiple home runs in 5 games this season. That's what's getting him his home runs. Is it just his new norm is that he's going to give up home runs at a big rate? I don't know. It doesn't look that different though than what we've seen before. Like the barrel rate's a little higher. It's a little bit higher, but it's not like unbearably higher to the point where he's suddenly this massive home run guy.
Yeah.
Look, you said the last start was bad. Look, I mean against Cleveland, 4 runs in 5. Go back a couple against the Mets, 4 within 5. Yeah, 5 and a third.
6 and a third.
Sorry, 6.
San Fran 6.
San Fran was 6 and 5 and a third. Yeah. The very first outing against Washington, and granted, now we have seen that they're a better offense than I think anybody expected. But 5 and 5 and a third, like it hasn't been awesome.
It hasn't.
Some of these are not juggernaut offenses, and he's still getting, pretty creamed.
I just refuse to believe that Aaron Nola is going to strand 68% of batters. And yes, I know that he had one season where he did it already, and it's the every other year thing. But I just do not. I refuse to believe that's a thing.
The every other year thing.
And
with him,
out of every 5 fly. The dude is giving 1 out of every 5 fly balls is flying over the wall. Like if he does that, that's going to be the worst That's going to be the worst season ever. Like if that happens, if that truly sticks, it'll be an abysmal year. But I will go off of the history and say that'll come down. When the home runs come down, the ERA drops with it, the whip drops with it. And if he gets dropped, I'm going to add him. I'm telling you right now. If Aaron Nola gets dropped in the league, I will more than likely add him and ride the ship to the end.
I will say I probably would too for a couple of starts and probably get crushed and then be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, man. I would probably take the chance too, especially in like a head-to-head league type of thing. Look, I've started much worse, Gusto. Who's hoping to start him? Corey.
Trying to find the stat from this morning. I heard on WIP, Ben Davis, former player in the league, local guy. He mentioned the hard hit rate against Nola last night, and it was like absurd amount of hard hits, like almost 90% of the hits that they had were hard hit. Like they were just knocking the snot out of the ball against him last night. I mean, him against St. Louis alone this year, he has an 11.42 ERA, 2 losses in both starts, only 8 2/3 innings, 17 hits, 11 earned, 3 homers that all came yesterday, 5 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So he's so inconsistent right now for what he's done in the past. Corey, I agree with you. The history is why I would lean towards wanting to hold him, but I don't know if I can honestly do it after yesterday. And he even said, I don't know what's wrong. I feel fine. It was just terrible, or something along those lines. And I mean, you can just see it in his eyes. He just looks defeated. He doesn't know what's going on. And he doesn't have a high velocity on his pitches in general. So location is key for him. And if he's not locating the ball or he's missing, or making mistakes, that's what they were talking about this morning. His mistakes are just hangers in the zone. When you miss, you got to miss out of the zone. If you're not doing that, you're getting crushed. And it's like one homer he gives up, and then he just like kind of breaks down, and then he gives up another homer, and then it's another homer or another hit. The walk is what crushed him yesterday as well, because he was doing okay. And then the inning that he lost it imploded because he walked the first guy, and then that guy came around and scored, and then there was a homer, and it was just like, why? I was listening to it on my way home and I was not happy. So anyway, Nola could go either way, but if you're interested and want to buy low, now is definitely the time.
I would say his velocity on all his pitches is down too, so that's not good.
It is. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
I mean, he's
right,
a 92, 93 guy. So, all right, another pitcher here, Zach Gallen. Hold or drop.
It's the same thing. It's like the exact same thing as Nola. Like
Corey's holding, Joe's dropping.
Joe's you're just unbelievably aggressive tonight. I'll say that. Like, I don't.
He's got too much of my rage drop in him. That's why.
I'll tell you exactly. I'll just tell you exactly why. Look, we're talking about BABIP here for a pitcher. 284 is lower than it has been, and yet his ERA is up. His walk rate is up. That's why, right? His fly ball ratio is up. He's getting hammered, absolutely hammered. And he's a guy who I've been sort of tracking for a couple of seasons where like velocity has been dropping. He's been getting hit harder and harder and harder and sort of figured it out with a little bit of control and preciseness. Seems like he's losing just slightly a little bit of some of that. So like maybe now is the time. Now maybe drop is aggressive, but I think you might be able to find somebody to trade. Nola, maybe not a drop, right? Trade for him, man. Like, get somebody to go, hey, maybe somebody believes in these guys still. So with some of these guys, like maybe drop is like too aggressive, but I do think, look at some of these other teams around you and go, hey, I'll give you a Zach Gallen, especially give him 1 or 2. They're gonna have it, right? Give him 1 or 2 good starts.
Yeah,
let them see what happens. But there's a lot of red flags with a guy like Nola and Gallen as well. I actually flip flopped here. I kept looking at stats while everybody was talking here. I had hold, and then I looked at the launch angle of some of his hits. It's up 6% right now, from 11 to 17 on his hits. That is enormous. He's getting destroyed right now. Fly ball percentage up from 33 to 42%. Like, something is going on where it is not good for him, and that's why his ERA is inflated and his BABIP is way down. So I will drop.
Corey, anything to add for it?
Okay, so he's another one. He was overdrafted. He's been overdrafted for a few years. We can get to that out of the way. So if you expected Zach Gallen to be, I don't know, a low 3s ERA, I don't know where that came from. He's always outperformed that. But this is like kind of what I'm expecting. I don't know. I mean, maybe not 4.59, but I think if you got a upper 3s ERA out of him, so he gets it down a little bit, his expected ERA is 3.64. That's actually the lowest it's been in 3 years. I think he's okay. I think it'll probably settle into what he's been the last few years, and maybe some of the bad luck so far turns around. But like Joe said, the BABIP it's actually better. So it's the walks. The walks, he can't walk 10%. That's the problem. So if you're going to see him walking batters, and that's because he's not getting chases like he used to get, the chase rate is also a career low. If that happens, then yeah, Zach Gallen is going to be like more of a streamer than a most roster pitcher. But I will go off of the what do we have? 5 years, 6 years of track record here that says he's going to turn it around off of instead of 50 innings. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Okay. Next guy we got up here is another pitcher, Jack Flaherty.
I'm good with a drop on him, honestly.
Man, you are a hater. You are a hater, brother.
Joe gets that herd of turtles in him. And,
I guess.
Just dropping everybody.
He's just out here.
All right, Corey's holding. Joe's dropping. Corey,
Corey go first?
Yeah.
I just don't think it's not even been that bad, has it? I have Jack Flaherty on a team. Yes, the last game he gave up 5 earned runs in 3 innings. Before that, 5 2/3, 4 earned, 8 Ks. 5 innings, 4 earned, 4 Ks. 5 innings, 2 earned, 9 Ks. 5 innings, 3 earned, 4 Ks. 5 innings, no earned, 9 Ks. Like, he had maybe one bad start. Yes, he's had a couple of 4 earns in there. Like, I don't see it being that bad. It is not.
Three earned runs in 4, 2 and 6.
Okay.
That's good. Then 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 5 and 3. Those aren't good. And yes, the strikeout rate is good, but because he can't go deep into games, the strikeouts you're getting from him are not good. That's my problem.
50 strikeouts, dude. He's got 50 Ks.
Because he went deep early on. He got 7, 9, and 9 within his first 5 starts. Yeah, 8 a couple times against the Angels. Okay, good job. But he still allowed 4 earned runs. My problem with him,
starts, like,
my thing is though, is like, look, outside of last year, if he had not had his year last year, would you be keeping him with these stats?
Say that again.
If he had not had the year he had in 2024, would you keep him with these stats?
That is a good question.
Right, there you go.
It might be, so you're saying that he's reverting to the pre-Detroit, the last time Aaron Nola.
If you look at his 2023 before, if you look at his 2022, 4.25, 4.99. Yeah, strikeout rate's up, but everything else is going in the opposite direction. It's nervous. Like, it makes me nervous with him. And yes, he's with Detroit, so he might win a few games, but he's still 1-5 right now because he's not pitching well on a good ass team.
Maybe. I don't know. Just another one. 50 strikeouts to 14 walks, dude. Like,
when you're 1-5 on a team that's leading a division, that's not good.
11 strikeouts per 9. Like, I don't know, man. Another one. I'm gonna keep Jack Flaherty. There's no way I have a pitcher I have a team where I can not have Jack Flaherty. Like, what team are you who are you dropping him for? Like, let me throw up some names here. Ryan Weathers. You dropping Jack Flaherty for Ryan Weathers?
Honestly, I would just stream somebody at this point. That's the thing. Like, I don't think I'm dropping him for any one pitcher in general, and I never do that with a pitcher. I just stream the spot until something absolutely like this is the guy, and I'm gonna and which rarely happens because then at some point somebody else is droppable at the pitcher position. Let's be real, we all know that, right?
I believe that
happens.
we already have pissed off Max Muncy. He just hit his second home run in as many days. So,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
so he's
There you go.
turning it around in a heartbeat on us.
Awesome. All right.
All right, Joe. I think there's a comment that you need. To
I saw it.
and
I saw
and
it.
you
I saw it.
also need to fix the banner.
Oh
GG.
god.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
We get it. You both wanted to hold Sal Perez. We've held him on the banner for the last 40 minutes. Okay.
I'm just gonna stop with the banners because I can't do it anymore. I'm just done. I'm done.
Okay, so put the comment up, damn it.
No, Oh,
I can't do it.
right. I forgot nobody else
There we
can.
go.
All right. So
Yes, Joey,
thank you. Love the energy.
best part of the YouTube show tonight is how tipsy Joe B is. Happy face with a teardrop. I guess that is the emoji. Good energy. Love to see it. Indeed. And with that, I will bring my next beer, which is the Three Floyds Turbo Reaper
I'm out. So
IPA.
I'm good for now.
This is a 7%er, I believe. Still not super heavy, but it's quite tasty.
Oh, very good.
Okay. Happy birthday to Joe. Next one up is Jackson Job. What are we doing?
Oh, I thought you'd kill me on this.
Look at that. We agreed. Drops. Okay, moving on. Bowden Francis. Drop or hold?
He's a drop.
Yeah,
He's an easy drop.
I dropped him weeks ago.
Yeah.
After a negative 15.
Last one.
That was a rage drop.
I don't even know, dude.
And he hasn't done anything since. So great. Shane Baz.
Oh man,
This one's so tough.
It is so hard. I want to hold him, but I'm just gonna go hold.
Yeah.
And just figured.
I thought.
Right.
Here's the problem with Shane Baz is I thought he was taking this I don't know, stud turn the way it started, and
Yeah.
it is not taking a stud turn. So I'm not dropping him, I guess, but it is also not what I thought I was getting either. A couple weeks ago, where I thought maybe this was going to be like a top 20-ish starting pitcher, and nope, he is not.
All right.
So
Can we lump all? Oh, sorry. Go.
All right. I was going to say, in the spirit of the Preakness, we could say Shane Baz, following up on Corey's comment, was the Secretariat starting, and now he's just the glue factory horse. Stud to glue. Go, Joe.
So, can we lump the last four of these guys all together? Because I don't think any one of these guys has technically lost their job.
No.
No, Corey, unless I'm wrong. I don't think.
Okay, we're talking closers here.
Closers. There's a bunch of closers here.
Ryan Walker,
obliterated.
Kenley Trevor Gill, and Rizel Iglesias.
I'm gonna say hold every single one of these guys. And it's rough, and I get it. Corey, you and I talked, man. Every closer this year, outside of maybe Hader, has been crushed. And I looked and I was like, no, there's no way. Mason Miller. And I went, oh, actually, he got killed.
Yeah, he just gave up a grand slam.
Never mind. It's been brutal. Maybe Ryan Walker is the top of the drop at this point. At the top of the drop list from these guys. Iglesias is right there, but who's gonna replace him? I don't know, man. What do you I literally can't drop in a saves only league. Saves hold leagues. I don't care about these guys. Saves only leagues, they are super hard to drop because in our heartbeat, they're getting the job back, and then they're worth what $350 of your fab out of 1,000. So good luck getting it back, So it's what are you gonna do? So I don't know. I think hold all these guys, but what do you think?
No, yeah, you're right. In a saves league, you have to keep them all. I would put. Trevor McGill has actually been pretty good lately. I'm not ready to drop him at all. Iglesias seems to be turning it around. Walker is borderline because Camilo Doval is there, but I wouldn't drop him. I think the most droppable will be Kenley Jansen, but Ben Joyce I don't know if he's down below. Ben Joyce is out for the season now, and so unless you think Ryan Zephyr-John, who's been awesome, is going to get the job there, you have to keep holding him. Like there are 32 closers. Or 30 closers. That's the fact behind it. It's just a scarce thing. Like, and that's why they're so tough to find. And yeah, you got to eat some sucky ratios, and you're gonna have to eat it with some of these guys. And it sucks. Like Joe said, Josh Hader's been pretty okay. Edwin Diaz has been pretty good at sometimes, but beyond that, like it's the middle tier that's been the best. Like Andres Munoz looks awesome. He's finally got the closer role in Seattle, and like Duran, when they give him a chance in Minnesota, has probably been the second or whatever number I'm on, fourth best. But all those top end guys, they suck. Like it's been miserable to watch closing this year at times. But there's so many closers, you got to hold them.
In my 10-teamer, all 4 of these guys are on the waiver. Jeff Hoffman just got dropped, basically a rage drop after a -17.
Yeah,
so I'll talk Jeff Hoffman here for a second because I put it in the group, our group chat thing. I put it in there the other day that I almost dropped Jeff Hoffman, rage dropped him, and I walked away from my computer for like an hour, and I said, "What am I going to add? Like, what are you adding?
Right?
There's nothing there. Like
in a saves only league, what are you going to do?"
Yimmy Garcia was already picked. Like I'd have added Yimmy Garcia instead of. I would have kept Jeff Hoffman and added. He was already like people are holding top setup men to try to find the next closer.
Yeah. That's the thing. So Corey, one huge example that you and I could both say, right, is in our NFBC league, Earth League, right? We did this honestly, we did it like weeks early, and it just happened to work. We did it with a couple of guys. We tried with Santillan, right? Santillan.
I still maintain he's the best relief pitcher in Cincinnati. Right. But they are going to go with
Cincinnati will not give him the job. We held on to him for weeks. Didn't happen. We finally cut bait. We're done. But the one that works, right? And this is what you can do in these types of leagues, right? We picked up the new Yankees closer,
Luke Weaver.
Because who sucked? Yeah, we know. So
Devin Williams.
Luke Weaver has now taken over for Devin Williams. Now, will Devin Williams get the job back eventually? Probably. They paid him millions of dollars to do exactly that job. But the Yankees are trying to win some ball games, man. They're trying to win a World Series. I think if Luke Weaver just keeps rolling, I don't see how they can possibly just hand it back to Devin Williams unless he just strings along a bunch of scoreless 2 strikeout, innings in a row. Like it's got to be 6, 7, 8 games in a row where he just goes on a roll, in my opinion. So we lucked out in that opinion. So I think if you're looking at picking up or if you're looking at trying to replace closers in a saves only league, you can't drop the actual closer that's still there now. You have to drop a crappy bench bat or a crappy starting pitcher that you have stashed and pick up their possible replacement and just hope it works. And if it doesn't within a couple of weeks, easy drop, go get the next guy.
Yeah.
So, yes, all of these guys have been terrible, but they're not drops at this point because they still have the job. That's it. That's all there is to it. So,
yeah. Tony Santillan has 9 holds, 1 save, 18 Ks in 21 innings, 6 walks is a little hefty, but a 1.29 ERA. I mean, and a 0.86 WHIP. So he's doing quite well. But yeah, there's plenty of guys out there. I mean, even Mason Miller, been cruising, been doing real well until he got me a -15 spot on the 3rd of May, and
oh my God, yeah,
was not happy about that. Almost potentially cost me a loss that week, but he didn't. So, but yeah, him and Munoz are my 2 closers in saves only. You still got to go for the guys that are going to get the majority of them. They're gonna blow up. We talk about it every year. Closers are volatile. They always are. They always have been. They always will be. So it's nothing new. But
it just sucks when it's like some of the topper some of the names at the top. So,
it really sucks when they get that blown up. Like,
well, and it's kind of it's a lot of
though,
these guys. It's a lot of these guys. They get absolutely destroyed. We've seen a lot of crazy like lines this year, and it's like brutal.
Can I ask the local Phillies fan? So, is Romano back to the closer's role here in Philly? Because that's 2 in a row, right?
I think he could be. They thought that he was tipping pitches, and initially it was, well, maybe he's still not 100% healthy. Then they come out and say, well, we think maybe he's tipping his pitches. Ever since that, he's done whatever not to tip his pitches, I guess, or he's gotten more comfortable and healthier. And he's been really, really good. Like I've been confident watching him when I was not at all. When as soon as he came in, I would turn the damn game off and be like, all right, that's it. Because it's like a rage remote drop at that point. But yeah, he's looking good. I don't know if I'm 100% ready to say he's the guy because Alvarado is still pitching fairly well, but I feel like Alvarado gets the highest leverage play. So whether that's the 8th or the 9th, they're going to put him in. Romano may have gotten the last couple of saves, but that could just be because the last, wherever Alvarado was the harder at bats. So, all right. Well, that wraps it up for our so-called rapid fire. Half hour plus later, almost 40 minutes, like I said, right on cue. Now we will dip into some news and notes and injuries and
our news roundup.
All right, Joe.
We get a soundbite for the news roundup. I like it. No, man, I want like a Beyonce roundup thing, man. Anyway. So the news here is Ronald Acuna Jr. has begun his rehab assignment. Jake Berger and Tobias Myers are back from the minors. Not so sure Myers earned that, but whatever, sure.
Pat myself on the back for that Berger. Yeah, that's right.
Sure. Jace Young optioned to AAA. IL here is what?
I said Texas doing Texas things. They put Young down and then put Berger back up. Is that am I not thinking? Is that
you are incorrect on that one, sir? No,
that is not the right Young.
That's the wrong Young.
Yeah, you're thinking Josh. Anyway, Andres Jimenez to the IL with a quad injury. Jake Freely to the IL with a calf. Casey Mize to the IL with a hamstring. Ian Happ with an oblique. Hayden Winooski with an elbow. Oswaldo Cabrera ankle. Roki Sasaki with a shoulder. Bryce Miller, who was probably one of our drop candidates, honestly, but dodged a bullet, I guess, with an elbow, so you can stash him on the IL if you have him. Jose Quintana, left shoulder impingement, not good. Ben Joyce, shoulder surgery, out for the season. Tanner Houck, forearm with an on the IL. I mean, he's been abysmal, probably one of the drop candidates too, if he wasn't already done with everybody. Call-ups: Evan Carter, Jordan Lawler, Moises Ballesteros, and Dalton Rushing. By the way, a bunch of these dudes were on our show last week that we talked about. So if you aren't tuning in, come back.
I was not here, so good to know. Dalton Rushing also has catcher eligibility, and he will likely be playing more than just catcher. So he is interesting.
Yeah, let's AJ, you haven't talked a whole bunch tonight outside of the last 10 minutes because you ranted on the Phillies for a minute. I'm gonna give you the floor again. I'll let you have first pick.
That's what I'm here.
I'll let you have first pick on your two.
All right. Well, I'll take the two easy ones because they are and were on my team. Bryce Miller, I did rage drop him because he has been quite annoying and frustrating. And then, of course, 3 days later, he goes on the IL, and I had an open IL spot. Oh, wait, but there's more. I don't now because thanks to Jose Quintana. So, yeah.
I think Quintana's droppable.
I think he is. Yeah.
He's not.
Miller has... I don't know if he was necessarily droppable. Again, it's a 10-team league, and he did automatically get picked up. But I kind of was like, all right, well, whatever. He hasn't done anything. And then he went on the IL, so I kind of laughed about it, especially because that guy has like 7 IL guys. But, yeah, Quintana has been pitching pretty well until this last start. And then, he's been serviceable, and now it's just like, okay, well, we're going to do this. But, I mean, it seems to be par for the course because every Milwaukee pitcher has been hurt at some point this year. And it just continues.
Talk to Corey about that. He knows.
It just continues to get bad because, Freddie Peralta came back and then did nothing the other day. Monday, I believe, was his start. So maybe he's still hurt. I don't know. It's definitely just big trouble in little Milwaukee for their pitching staff. So,
all right. So, Corey, what you got, man?
Yeah, I'll piggyback quick off of the Bryce Miller one. He would have been on the drop list. His problem is, I don't know if you remember, but when Bryce Miller first came up, it was, I'm going to throw this fastball like 45, 50, 60% of the time, and no one's going to hit it. And now he's devolved into, I throw the fastball like 20% less of the time, and people hit it because I have 41 pitches that I want to throw up there. Just throw your best pitches, dude. Like, I don't know why you're decided to do that. So hopefully this IL stint, and then we can get him back. Wisniewski you can drop. That's nothing there. I don't know if you saw the Oswaldo Cabrera injury. It was awful. They had to bring the emergency. They brought the ambulance on the field. Like, it was terrible looking. Casey Mize, I don't know if we talked about Casey Mize. Casey Mize has been awesome this season, like delivering on the former first overall pedigree. So that one sucks because I know like a couple leagues, I drafted Casey Mize pretty late on the coming off of a decent spring training type of thing, and I was riding Casey Mize. So
he was doing really well.
Hamstring better than like an arm thing, of course, but probably a month at this point. I would expect that we will not see Casey Mize. And I'll take the call up guys because I did not talk about Evan Carter. I don't like. I'm sure he's a nice dude. That's not that I don't like him. Evan Carter can't hit lefties. That's the problem. Evan Carter cannot touch a lefty. He's terrible against lefties, and they don't let him try. So that's why I'm out on Evan Carter. I said they would never call up Jordan. I don't know if I said I'd never, but I said I didn't think they'd call up Jordan Lawler imminently last week, and they called up Jordan Lawler. And then they said that,
like, wait, hold up. Prove this guy wrong.
Okay, so what I said was, and David, like the other guy that was here, agreed, right? They had second base filled with Cattell. You have shortstop with Perdomo, and you have third with Suarez. And they said he's going to fill in like 3 to 4 days a week in all these places. I don't know if I want to add that to a fantasy league. Like, I don't think I want to add that. And
he pinch hit for Ketel Marte tonight.
Yeah, like,
that was it.
That doesn't help.
So he had a pinch hit. Good luck figuring out that went.
And the same thing is with rushing. So
it went 0 for 1. So good luck.
Yeah.
AJ's right. Dalton Rushing has outfield eligibility because he played it, but they called him up. And I said again, like, I don't think maybe add him before the trade deadline. Well, I didn't expect them to DFA Austin Barnes. That was out of left field. But they said he's going to play 2 days a week at catcher, and we're not planning to play him anywhere else. Like, what? I'm not adding that. I don't need that.
Well, he can't. He's not going to play first because obviously Freddie Freeman. I mean, they may bounce him around.
You're not playing him at DH, right? Like,
I do think there is because there is some like iffiness with the outfield right now because of Teoscar Hernandez's injury, but I think that's still not reliable enough to add him. So I agree with you, man. Like, I agree with you. None of these call ups are exciting for me.
I think the most exciting is Ballesteros, but that's a limited shelf life, so we can tie that in with Ian Happ. So I said that was the one I said last week, right? As if an outfielder gets injured, I think we'll get Ballesteros. An outfielder got injured, we have Ballesteros. But I don't like Ian Happ. How long is what does we have on here? Ian Happ has an oblique. Like, those suck, but it's a short. We have a shelf life on that, and unless Ballesteros rakes, like even if he does rake, we've talked about how good Carson Kelly is. I don't know if he keeps up over that. So I'm not. I think I added Ballesteros one spot, maybe in a 2-catcher league, but otherwise, None of those are overly interesting.
I looked at Carter and rushing in one league and was like, but nope, not worth it. Like, it's not worth who I would be giving up because the playing time is just so unpredictable for both of them. So Acuna, I want to talk about him. He's the only other guy I really want to talk about at this point. Everybody else is like injury, whatever. Like, they're not superstars. Acuna, like, look, I said this before the season started. Superstar off the charts. We get this, right? I do think he's going to come back and hit for good power, good average. My problem is how much are they going to let this guy run? And how much does he want to run, knowing that he's coming off of 2 ACL injuries? Like, I do worry about that. Projections had him pretty high. I bumped it down off of the, like the almost 35, 40 stolen base total that he had coming back in mid to late May. I was like, that is crazy to me, but I could be totally wrong, and I hope I am because I think it's a super fun player to watch. I just do worry that, like, if I think if you're in a redraft league and somebody wants to pay you like top dollar for him, I think give him Ronald Acuna. The year he came back from an ACL injury last, a couple years ago, he was not awesome that year. It was the year after he was really good. So I say let somebody else go through the warts of this season with him if you're in a redraft league and get somebody super good back from him if they're willing to pay for it. Now, if they're going to give you like a fifth, sixth, seventh round talent for him, no, go ahead, keep Acuna and get what you get from him. But I do think there is a place where he is a trade target or trade bait in certain leagues. So that's my thought. So
can I talk about Roki Sasaki quick here? Because he also would have been on the drop list if he didn't get injured.
Oh, yeah.
Sasaki also should have been on, like, he would have been up there, but he got injured, so I moved him down to the injured area. We said all throughout draft season, right? Like he's being massively overdrafted. You do not need to draft him this high. What is the upside? And it has been, like, arguably the worst case scenario for Roki Sasaki at this point. You put the drop up. If you don't have injured spots, go for it. Like, there is nothing. His fastball is not good. Like, the split finger is awesome, but people just wait for him to have to throw a fastball over the plate, and they just crush his fastball. 10% whiff rate, a 663 expected slug off of his fastball. So people just wait and crush the fastball. And, like, I'm not saying, if you drafted, because this was the easy number one pick in a rookie draft in dynasty leagues, right? Yeah. Like, he's 23. I'm not writing off Roki Sasaki. Like, if you have him in a dynasty league, don't like panic forever here. But in a redraft league, yeah, Joe's got it. I put mine away now, but, like, yeah, you can drop Roki Sasaki and don't worry. Like, I wouldn't lose sleep over that.
The game log is incredible for him. Like, he was only pitching 3-4 innings early on, but, like, when you look at it, it's the home run to fly ball rate. Like, teams have figured him out, and it's 16%, 14%, 14%, 16%, 20% home run percentage, the fly ball ratio. Like, he's getting crushed because teams are just figuring out, like what you said, to sit on the fastball and just crush him. So I totally agree. I skipped over him when I was looking at the list. Like, he would have been up there too with Miller when I said, he was on the drop list. I just forgot about that one. But all right, guys. Well, I think that's it for the show. So thank you all for listening and watching wherever you are. And again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave those comments. We love hearing from you. And of course, check us out on our socials. They're all in the comments. But without further ado, I think we are done for the night.
Indeed. Happy
breaking news:
birthday,
Kenta Maeda signing with the Cubs.
What's up?
Breaking news: Kenta Maeda minor league deal with the Cubs, and you can worry about him in your 45-man leagues.
I was gonna say, I'm not worried about him at all. So, all right, good night, guys, and thank you for tuning in, and we will check y'all next time.
Bye.